Guardians of Dominion, Zeus addresses the battlefield. A single Clash of Worlds change has quietly empowered heroes that most players aren't even watching, and it's already reshaping defensive strategy across the map. The real winners aren't the ones everyone expects. Watch this carefully. There's a single line in this season's Clash of Worlds changes that most players are going to read, shrug at, and scroll right past. The Foundry now grants 10% maximum health per tank instead of 8. Just 2%. On paper, it barely looks worth mentioning. Except that one line quietly handed a significant boost to a very specific group of heroes. And if you don't know whose names are on that list, you're going to spend this entire season wondering why certain defenses suddenly feel far tougher than they used to. So forget the fortification itself for a moment. Let's talk about the heroes. Because in Hero Wars, a health buff is rarely just a health buff. For these heroes, it's a damage buff, a shield buff, a control buff, just wearing the same disguise. Let's go through the roll call, starting with the names almost nobody is paying attention to. First is Tristan, and he's probably the most overlooked hero on this list. Serving the light reduces the enemy team's physical attack, and the strength of that reduction scales directly with Tristan's own health. Nobody is going to lose a battle, and immediately point the finger at Tristan. But a Foundry boosted Tristan is quietly lowering the damage output of every physical attacker you bring. You don't notice the debuff happening, you just realize your team isn't hitting nearly as hard as it should. Next comes Polaris. Her Glacial Fortress creates an ice barrier, and when that barrier finally breaks, it explodes for damage based on her health. More health means every one of those explosions hits noticeably harder. Against a low health Polaris, it's little more than an inconvenience. Against a Foundry powered one, those shatters start removing heroes from the fight. Then there's Andvari. His value comes from nature's barrier, a shield that protects an ally by absorbing damage based on Andvari's maximum health. Increase that health pool, and the shield immediately becomes much harder to break. Every extra point of shielding means your attackers spend more time chewing through protection before they can even reach the hero they're trying to eliminate. Lilith is where things start getting dangerous. Her possession sacrifices a portion of her maximum health before casting her skills, converting that sacrifice into magic attack. It's a direct health for power trade. The larger her health pool becomes, the more she can safely sacrifice, and the larger the magic attack boost she gains every single time she casts. The Foundry doesn't just make Lilith tankier, it literally increases the amount of firepower she generates throughout the battle. Byrna also benefits in a way that's easy to miss. Through Living Heart, every time an ally is healed, her magic attack increases, and the size of those gains scales with her health. In defensive teams that constantly recover and sustain themselves, a healthier Byrna keeps building more and more damage the longer the fight drags on. And Foundry defenses are specifically designed to drag fights out. Now we get to Iris, and this is one of the biggest sleeper buffs in the entire update. Expose soul plants a soul onto one of your heroes, and every hit that soul receives is reflected back to its owner. The soul's maximum health scales directly with Iris's own health. Give Iris a larger Foundry health pool, and suddenly the soul survives longer, absorbs more punishment, and sends back even more damage before disappearing. Once that mark is on your hero, there's very little counterplay, you simply hope they survive the punishment. Then we arrive at the two names everyone already respects, Mushy and Shroom. Almost their entire kit revolves around health. Their summoned copies, their spore mushrooms, and the constant damage they build over extended battles all become stronger as their health increases. Every part of their toolkit gets both tougher and more threatening from the exact same buff. Mushy and Shroom battles already consume the clock. This update only makes those long, exhausting fights even harder to finish. Then there's Electra, and everything revolves around her shield. Embrace of Pain creates a protective shield whose strength scales directly with her health. More health means a much larger shield, allowing her to absorb significantly more punishment before taking real damage. But that's only half the story. When the shield finally breaks, it explodes and deals damage based on everything it absorbed. A bigger shield absorbs more damage, and more absorbed damage creates a much bigger explosion. More health goes in, a stronger shield comes out, and a much heavier counterattack follows right behind it. Finally, we reach Corvus, the headline act. His Altar of Souls scales directly from his health. The altar punishes enemies every time they attack his team, and the more health Corvus has, the longer that punishment stays active. A Foundry boosted Corvus turns the altar into a relentless source of damage that slowly grinds your team down from the opening seconds until the battle ends. He was already the backbone of many defensive teams. Now he's the backbone with sharpened teeth. That's the full roll call. Tristan, Polaris, Andvari, Lilith, Byrna, Iris, Mushy, and Shroom, Electra, and Corvus. 9 heroes. 1 Foundry buff. And every single one of them became stronger without receiving a single direct balance change. If you've been looking at the Clash of Worlds map lately, you've probably noticed the same faces appearing together over and over again. Corvus, Electra, and Mushy and Shroom keep showing up on the same defenses, and after this list, it's easy to understand why. But that's only today's snapshot. As more players discover which heroes truly benefit from the Foundry, those defensive lineups will continue evolving. The combinations may change. The heroes themselves won't. And for anyone still wondering about the Lighthouse, the answer is simple. It gives your defense absolutely nothing now. No hero bonus. No stat boost. No hidden advantage. It's a dead fortification. Every hero that truly matters this season is standing on the Foundry. That's the real story behind this Clash of Worlds update. The Foundry didn't just gain 2% more health, it quietly strengthened some of the most important defensive heroes in the game. The players who recognize these hidden interactions first will adapt faster, build smarter defenses, and avoid walking into battles they're already losing. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these heroes do you think benefits the most from the Foundry buff, and have you already noticed stronger defenses on the map? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. If this breakdown helped you see the update from a new perspective, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, so you never miss the next strategy guide. Until next time, stay sharp, think ahead, and remember, victory in Dominion belongs to the Guardians who understand the battlefield before everyone else.